Howdy folks, it's Justro at Metcalf Mills. I was thinking, it's been a long time since we had a walk in the woods. And everybody seemed to always enjoy that. So today, it's a beautiful, cool, sunny fall day. The leaves are starting to turn brown and fall. And I figure it'd be a great day to go take a little walk in the woods and see what we can see. Are you ready? Let's go. Are you ready, Bear? You ready to go? You ready to go, boy? Let's go. This is one of my favorite times to be in the woods, is this time of evening when the sun is shining on the trees real pretty. It's coming through the trees in spots. There's just something about it that's awful nice. And this mountain right here we're on, Chestnut Mountain, it's where my family settled almost 200 years ago. And there's been a lot of life give to us from this mountain. Water comes off this mountain, our spring water. There's bunches of springs on Chestnut Mountain, all up the range, all the way. There's herbs to keep us well, herbs to go with our people, to doctor us. All that come off the mountain. The wood that keeps us warm, the wood that done the cooking for 200 years until everybody stopped using it, which we still do. We heat with it. And I've cooked a lot with it and getting geared back up when I get this flue finished to start using it to cook again in the wintertime when it's cold. But it's just really amazing, the mountain is, and what all it does and what all it means. It's a big blessing, and I'm thankful that I can live here for just a little while and enjoy it. It seems like no matter what's going on in your life, you can always find peace and comfort when you go up in the woods, up on the mountain somewhere. It don't have to be your mountain. There's plenty of beautiful places you can go and enjoy. Just try it sometime. Get out and take a walk in the woods. See how it makes you feel. You can go with me right now. It won't be long till all these leaves up here in the canopy, they're all gonna be down here where I'm at, covering the ground. Insulating everything for winter time. There's been something here clawing at the bark on this poplar tree. You can see right there. Been clawing, probably a bear or something. Pretty rocks. Rock right there looks like it needs to be used in a wall or a chimney somewhere. Or just left there. Back over there's some big rocks. Old bandit walking through. Used to be every bit of medicine and doctoring you got come out of the woods. Mother, she knowed a lot about using herbs to doctor, but it's kind of got away from me a little bit. I need to do a little sharpening up on it so I can share it with you all. I know a few things, but I need to know more. And right here's where an old bear's been. See how he's tore this log up looking for grub worms? Right there. Trying to find him something to eat. Some of yous may enjoy this, walking in the woods and the quiet and peaceful, crunchy leaves, and some of you may not. I don't know. That fire we had in 07, it damaged some of our big trees a little bit. Wildfire got out from a neighbor, done a lot of damage. People used to burn the woods every year, and they'd burn them off, and it kept the danger down. The leaves and dead stuff didn't pile up and get so bad. Now right here's a rock pile. See all them rocks piled up? And why that is, at one time, this right here was a field. They growed, I've been told they growed wheat up here. And this land right through here, it's not too steep. So that would have been real possible. They cleared it off. They farmed these mountains. They had pasture land, and like I've talked about new grounds before, they would clear off a new ground and they would, there's a bunch more rocks, see, that they has been piled up at one time right in here. See them all? It's probably down at the bottom of their field right here, because it gets real rocky and rough down here where the water comes together. But they'd clear a new ground off, just clear it off, and plant their crops right there. Just didn't even have a plow or nothing, some of them. Usually August, September is the driest times here in the mountains. See a little trickling of water keeping everything damp. But they'd dry out, and they would just scratch the new grounds up with a hoe or whatever they had and plant it. Didn't even plow it. Them pretty rocks. Mossy rocks. And They say the first year you'd get a pretty good crop. And then the next year would be your best. You get the most off of your new ground. And then the next year was about like your first. And about 3 years, that's all they would grow it. And then they'd leave that new ground and go clean them off another one somewhere that winter and plant it the next year. Didn't have no fertilizer. The ground was fertile. The topsoil was rich where it never had been plowed or farmed. The ground was fertile and grow whatever they planted. And grow a lot of stuff. I've heard old people talk about planting a hill of beans and corn, them old cornfield beans, and said they'd pick a peck to the hill. It's 15 pounds, I think. A peck to the hill. That's pretty doggone good for beans now, ain't it? You talk about growing now. And over the years, people that didn't save their seeds right and didn't take care of things like they should have been have changed the genetics in a lot of the old-timey seed. And they've got, weaker and worse off. But that's a lot of beans off one hill now. I hope yous enjoyed this little walk in the woods with me today. I needed it, and I hope yous enjoyed it too. Something I want yous to think about, and I've been thinking about it for a few months now. The way prices are and everything, with gas and oil and petroleum in general, we need to think about, and this is a community thing, it's your community I'm talking about, and my community. We need to think about a lot of the elders and whatnot, they don't have, last year it was hard for them to heat their homes. If they heat with oil or electricity, I know for a fact it was very hard for them to do that, and they couldn't afford a lot of things they needed then. Well, it's a lot higher this year. Everything's higher. And that's just going to make it harder on them to be able to afford to heat their homes this winter. So I'm going to start mentioning and do some more thinking. I've got some ideas about it. We need to think about this in your community. Is there elders there that ain't going to be able to afford to heat their homes this winter? Most likely they are. They at least need to be checked on throughout the winter. If it's going to be dangerously cold, we need to think about that and come up with a plan. Maybe somebody's got a big house. Maybe somebody's got an empty house. Maybe somebody's got a big space where you could maybe home pool some elders until the cold weather was over. We need to think about this. Because like I said, that the hard time they had last winter, I don't know how they're going to do it this winter. So that's something to think about. If nothing else, just talk about it. People, good-hearted people are going to do what they can to help. Think about that. Talk about it. Make people aware to it in your community. Think about some of these elders. It's got the potential to be a rough winter. That's what community's about. This is Justro at Metcalf Mills. Hit that like button if you will. Subscribe if you ain't already. Tell your friends about me. And I really appreciate all of you going over and subscribing to Ty's channel. I'd say he's getting close to 1,000 if he's not crossed it already. I need to check up on him. I appreciate y'all doing that. I know it means a lot to him. It's going to be a big encouragement for him. And encouraging him, just like everybody that's encouraged me, he's got the potential to help a lot of people, especially younger people that need their interest sparked in what we're doing. So I appreciate every one of you for going over and subscribing to his channel, helping him out. I know he's on cloud 9. This is Justro at Metcalf Mills. I look forward to seeing you next time. Looks like it's a mile up there to the tops of them big trees.